Oh my God, it's such a big pleasure to get connected with Australia and say good afternoon to Elaine and Oswald Rentsch. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. Dzień dobry.
Good morning to Poland because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and your place is 4 o'clock p.m. But it's really, really big pleasure to see you. You look so beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Well, it's hello from Ossie and
it's hello from Elaine to your lovely people there in Poland.
And hello from Bowtech, the original Bowen technique. We are delighted to congratulate the Bowen Association of Poland on celebrating their 10th anniversary of their association. We well remember our first visit to Poznan in August 2014 when our dear friend Andrew Zapraszamy met us at the airport and it took us to our first SP2 class on the 6th and 7th of August 2014.
And we were amazed and thankful how Bowen therapy has grown from very humble beginnings in Poland to vibrant, exciting modality, thanks to Andrew's office, terapia, and Theo. And now with 7 active Bowen instructors with increasing members. So this is wonderful.
So we're ready for your questions now. If you would like to start, Aggie. Well, Mr. Bowen, he was a lovely person. He was a very generous man. He was a genius, really, in his own right, as I'll explain later. He treated disabled and underprivileged people and service personnel all free of charge. To some people, he appeared short in conversation. This was because he was so busy treating 60 people each day, mind you, using 2 or 3 rooms with assistants getting the patients ready. He was very kind to Elaine and I, visiting our home and giving us gifts. He lived 2.5 hours from where we lived. We'll talk more about that later.
What was the source, the beginning of this wonderful tool like the Bowen technique?
Well, the first story of Mr. Bowen treating someone was where he worked. He worked in a cement factory in Geelong, Victoria. A workmate fell from a height, landed on concrete, and Mr. Bowen was first man to him and placed his hand on the injured man and said, "Do not worry, we will look after you." The man said he immediately felt free of pain. And after that, fellow workers asked him, "Look, you helped him. Can you look at my sore arm, or can you look at my sore shoulder?" And his workmates used to just come to him, and he was able to help them. He retired from his workplace and began working at night, which soon became full-time. He had no notes or charge. This is the amazing thing. All of his work was in his head.
What is your journey with the Bowen technique and therapy? Your journey. Because your journey is a beautiful journey.
Well, that involves Elaine a little bit. My journey began when I first met Elaine. I'm going to let her tell you about that. She had a car accident, and she'll tell you something about that. Thanks, love.
Our journey was just the most amazing journey. I was sweet 16 when I met this beautiful man beside me, and it was instant love. And he literally asked me to marry him that very first night. But I said to him, "No, I can't marry you because you're going to finish with a cripple." And so that was where his journey with Bowen began, because he assured me that he would look after me, that he would take care of me. And so After I fell out, after I fell out of the tower, I had what's wrong with my body, and he could see that.
My journey was equally amazing, really. To reflect for a moment on my journey when I met Mr. Bowen, because of it, I had attended a health conference in 1974 in Adelaide. I was introduced to Mr. Bowen and I shook his hand and I said, "I would love to learn from you, Mr. Bowen." And I had no idea why I said those words, because I had no idea what he did. This was crazy. As he was shaking my hand, he said to me, "Good, come down and I'll teach you." But the amazing part was that another practitioner that introduced me to him wanted to go to Bowen's clinic too. And he said, "Good, I'll come too." And Mr. Bowen said, "No, I'll only take one." And that was quite an embarrassing moment. He said, "I will call my secretary at lunchtime." This was morning lunch at this conference. "And at lunchtime, I'll call my secretary and let you know." And so he did. He found me straight after lunch and he called me. He said to me, "I called my secretary at my clinic in Geelong and she said, tell him to be down in Geelong next Wednesday." This was a weekend. This was a Saturday in Geelong, 500 miles from our home. And I thought that this would be just one visit, as I was working often in other clinics for a day and learning all types of modalities. But the one day turned into 2 years and then 8 years. I will remember one of the most difficult decisions of my life was after 3 weeks with Mr. Bowen, I decided not to continue with him. You see, well, people well know Bowen is so totally different to anything else. It is not like massage or chiropractic or osteopathy or physiotherapy. And so let's look at a moment at the events of my life to that point. Because of Elaine's injuries and her discomfort as a result of falling out of the car at age 3 or 4, I had studied religiously any modality that I thought could help Elaine's problems. And now, after 3 weeks from my first meeting with Mr. Bowen, his work, as I witnessed it, seemed impossible. How can you learn this? There were no notes, no charts. It was totally foreign to me. I had learnt massage and osteopathy, but he said, forget about that, empty your mental cup. I had no concept whatsoever of what he was doing. At the 3-week mark, he had not explained anything to me. Remember, no notes, no charts, just observe. What should I do? Was Bowen work foreign to you when you first experienced it? That's a question for Poland. Seemingly, I could never learn to do this technique as I was absolutely unable to comprehend or make sense of what Mr. Bowen was doing. I felt like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible who said, I will arise and return to my father and become one of his hired servants. The total turnaround. This was a turning point of my life. So I said I would return to Hamilton, where we started, and just do massage. So I said to Mr. Bowen, I cannot follow what you are doing. It does not make sense to me. I will give it away. Mr. Bowen said to me, talk to my patients. That's all he said. It was a time to speak. There were probably 15 patients in Mr. Bowen's waiting room, as there would be at all times. And I spoke to each of them. What is your problem? When did you last visit Mr. Bowen? Where have you gone for treatment in the meantime? To a man, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 6 years. They all said, I would never go to anyone else. Mr. Bowen is the only one who has ever helped me. In his clinic, I now saw a situation I had never seen before. 60 people a day, responding with mostly only 2 visits and not returning until re-injured. What was my decision to be? What would you have done? My philosophy has always been, if somebody can do anything, surely I can do it. I set my mind to it. I could not see how I could achieve at that stage learning Mr. Bowen's work, even just to practice it in my own clinic.
So I think this perfect switch to the next question. What makes this technique so effective?
Well, I learned Mr. Bowen discovered the means by which the body heals and balances itself, as well as how it becomes ill, diseased, and symptomatic, and how to reset and activate the body's own powerful, miraculous, self-healing, balancing ability. Mr. Bowen's work really is holistic. Bowen work addresses circulation, nerve supply, lymphatic activity, tissue tension, dynamics of muscle, ligament, tendon, fascia through the law, scientific processes, which are the natural order of how the body-mind works. You have in your hands, practitioners, the ability through Bowtech to set in motion a healing process in people with a mentality which no other in the world can compare. There is no part of the body or condition that Bowen work does not address, no organ. Bowtech cannot resolve every condition, but in the majority of time, it increases the quality of life. Bowen practitioners are the most important people in the community.
Are there any scientific studies in the world on the effectiveness of this technique, or maybe they are being planned?
Thank you. That's a very good question. There have been many studies on the effectiveness of the Bowen technique recorded, and we have a research portfolio listing these, namely the physiological effects of Bowen therapy, the effects of the autonomic nervous system measured by heart rate variability, the potential for fibromyalgia, accelerated healing, a research paper on bunion treatment with Bowen, another on carpal tunnel syndrome, quite a few, and there are even more of these. They're not scientific studies. We have 2 main scientific studies, one by Dr. Bernie Carter at the University of Lancashire in the UK, on the evaluation of Bowen for the frozen shoulder. Your very own Elaine Rentsch from Poznan, is, well, I'm pronouncing that correctly, is one of our accredited Bowtech instructors and a physiotherapist. He was responsible for initiating scientific research on lower back pain relief using Bowen. Elena's research thesis has been published in World Scientific News and was possible with cooperation with the University of Medical Sciences in Poznan. So there are a few, and we have a record of those in our portfolio.
So where in the world is the Bowen technique most known? Is it in Australia because it comes from Australia, or maybe in somewhere else, or maybe in Poland?
Well, the Bowen technique is probably most known in Australia because it started there with about 20 accredited instructors, but it's possibly there might be more people on the database in the USA, which also has 20 instructors. But we believe Poland is amazing, with 7 accredited instructors and about 1,350 members on your database, all in 10 years. That is amazing. Congratulations to everyone in Poland. We can only see Poland growing and going from strength to strength.
How do you envision the future of Bowen therapy in the world? What is your dream about this?
Well, wherever Bowen work is taught and used correctly, it is still exciting healthcare professionals worldwide. It is an absolute phenomenal modality. So few people can realise that. Now, in Bowtech, it's really complex and there's quite a lot to learn. There are a total of 364 moves in Bowtech. In modules 1 to 6, there are 146 moves, and the specialised Bowen procedure 1, there are 44 moves, and in specialised Bowen procedures 2, there are 174 moves. So how far has Bowen work come, and how far can it go? From 1974, when we met Mr. Bowen, to 2024, 50 years from when we first met, I think this is a time to reflect. How far has Bowen work come? What are we celebrating? A few numbers. Over 60,000 people, at least, have taken basic training. What with the help of 130 registered instructors with the Bowen Therapy Akadamii of Australia. And we have 10 affiliated Bowen training groups in 30 different countries and 18 affiliated associations. So why is it spreading like no other modality? We're still getting inquiries of people wanting to start a new country. It's amazing how it's growing in India. Of course, it's South Africa, and you can read in the back of Bowen all our countries. It's exploding in Hong Kong. It's also in Japan and many other places in Asia. But why is it spreading? Simply because it works. Technique works. Elaine, tell them about the story of the chiropractor.
Well, I put my glasses on. I was probably because I am looking at a little bit of paperwork here. We were working in America, and we had this man who was a chiropractor who attended. He simply thought that he was from Oregon, and he simply thought that he was here to Ossie and I to be very disinterested and not part of the class. And Ossie and I, after the class, because we talk about everyone, of course, and we said to one another, we won't see him again. He'll never return. But he did return, and he came in carrying this great big present, this great big, well, it was a rug, a beautiful Indian rug. I said to him, what is this? We don't need this. He said, you changed my life. He said, I now do 90% pure Bowen with amazing results. And for the first time in my life, this was wonderful. I have God satisfaction. Now, unless we have satisfaction, we are very unhappy, sad people. So that was just an amazing story.
He said to me, I had a full chiropractic clinic, and he said, every night I was never satisfied. I knew I told them to come back next week, and they'd come back week after week after week. And he said, I felt guilty. He said, it's only, and he said, the amazing part, all the people that I first treated with Bowen, 2 visits, and I didn't need to see them again.
He lost his mind too.
So if you do it correctly and don't abuse it, it is an amazing technique.
Do you have any advice for a future Bowen therapist, but also for patients?
Thank you. Of course, we could talk forever on that. But as I mentioned earlier, Bowen may be used on a client with any condition. This is the amazing thing. I mentioned a few conditions earlier, but all the internal organs and your Bowen structure, Bowen, you'll know this. However, complicated is looking for work on sport and work-related injuries. And interestingly, recently, in the last few years, there's been, in Bowen hands, we have had a report on the concussion recovery protocol. Now, heavy football industry in Australia and America, concussion. If you read concussion, medically they say it can't be treated, you must rest. Tom Bowen, one of our leading Bowen therapists in America, using the Bowen technique, can resolve concussion in 7 days. It is something that is just unreal, revolutionary. Point is, we have immediately getting it recognised by the medical authorities because we don't use drugs and we're not following regular physiotherapy rules. So our hands, the quarterly journal, is the medium sent around the world, which within we've printed 120 issues, which first recorded, and it's full of amazing testimonials of successful treatments to children, to the aged, including disabled and accident victims. Of course, the real essence of Bowen work is how it can be used for underprivileged, victims of violence, stress, anything at all a client presents with. Like Farida Irani, our instructor in India, taking Bowtech to orphanages for blind children in India. She went to a clinic in India where they had 12 epileptic children, orphans that were blind, and all had epilepsy. She treated them with the Bowen procedures, and epilepsy is just such a very sad condition, particularly to the blind. Of those 12 people, 15 she treated, I think 12 in 6 months were completely free of epilepsy, and the other 6 are still in treatment. Bowen technique covers us with a mantle of responsibility. It's an inheritance to pass on. It's not ours to keep for ourselves. This responsibility lies with each one of us. Live it, you instructors, you practitioners, you patients. You want to live it, breathe it, use it alone. There are certain requirements for Bowen, but does not mix with other modalities. It resets the body to find it with the ways between moves. If it can prove it scientifically to be correct, it must be used alone, not to be mixed to get the maximum use. So be passionate about it. Yes, it takes hard work, dedication. Set your goals to achieve this. Enjoy yourselves. Share your Bowen story. Breathe in the atmosphere of greatness which comes from Bowtech, and also remain humble. Do not allow greed to rule your thinking. Make Bowtech your life's work, and you will not regret it.
What would you wish to Bowen therapists in Poland because of this 10th anniversary and everything? What you would wish to Bowen's therapists here in Poland?
From my heart, I love the people of the Bowen people we have met in Poland. We think are the loveliest people in the world. I mean that because our forefathers came from that area too. So we've got a little generic connection there. Yeah. But I would love for them to retain autonomy with more and more teachers forming their training groups which make representation to medical or government authorities for recognition, because the ones that do recognise, of course, we're now nationally recognised in Australia, but countries are very loath to recognise this seemingly queer modality, which hasn't got a great deal of scientific proof, but I would like in Poland just to see it grow and grow, and so that you can go down the street in any country, Poznan or Warsaw, and you say to any person, have you heard of Bowen therapy? And they will say, yes, of course. So that's what I would like to see. Thank you so much. Any more questions?
Just the last one is from me. What can a person do to be in as a great shape as you and Elaine are? It's only due to the Bowen therapy, or is something else? I mean, a lot of exercise, really good food, positive thinking, amazing friends, family, and etc., etc.
You're sweet. You're sweet. Look, there is no answer to it. Like I said, I met this beautiful man when I was 16. We were blessed. We fell in love at that very time. This year, my husband, Ossie, darling, here is going to be 92. This month, I'm 84. And so we have been married for 65 years this year. And so what is the secret of it? Love one another unconditionally. And because we are both dedicated Christian people, without the love of our Lord, we wouldn't be together as happy people as we are. So there is no magic formula except for those two things: love one another unconditionally, trust in our Saviour, and we think we are blessed. And so, we both love sport, but we don't know about a rigorous exercise program or anything like that. But we are both very, very keen sportsmen. I love my golf. I'm a golfer. Ossie used to be a great cricketer and footballer. So just back in those days when we used to train, but nowadays I can play golf, but that's a lot of training. So we are blessed. We are happy, and we are so grateful to be together after 65 years and to bring this incredible technique to the world. It is just the most special thing that's ever happened to us. I firmly believe that when I fell out of that car, that was all part of God's plan for Bowen to be in the world today. Because had I not fallen out of that car, I would never have sought help for me to learn myself. So although people may frown when I say that or think you're overstepping the mark here, Elaine, nothing will ever convince me otherwise. It is a gift from God. We were chosen, believed by God, to bring it to the world, and that is our story. It's a wonderful story. Thank you.
Like people said to me, when are you going to retire? And I said, I'm going to retire when I get old.
This is the perfect message. So we
appreciate, let me say that we appreciate the effort that your people, Elias and the other lady, and your people that have put this together and given us this opportunity, because, as I said, we love Poland. We just wish, we think that after COVID, our flights have lessened overseas, but if we were well enough, we would be back in Poland to say hello if you would have us. And you never know, you might have our grandson yet. Our grandson who put this together for us is just finished HSC and he's having a gap year. He's going to America and Europe, and he said I might even visit Poland. So he can drive a tractor, he can weld, he can do anything. If anyone wants a worker and a bone therapist, we'll send him over to Poland.
Would be wonderful.
We'd love to come back. We miss you people. We miss Theo, Hania, and all of those people who've been so kind and gracious to us. And so when Ossie said you are special people, we mean that from the heart. So you have been great to us. Bowen has been great to us. But just do the work. You know, Ossie has said, what do you see for Bowen happening? In Poland, I just would like to think that everyone who is touched with Bowen has a response, whatever the condition, whatever their cause for coming to you has been, that with one or two treatments that they have a success story to tell you, so that people heal, so that people are free of pain, so that people are feeling less stressed and very, very happy in their own skins because they have been to a Bowen therapist. That would be my sincere wish. And I just hope that it goes from strength to strength in your country. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for a message. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your amazing energy. Thank you for everything what you did already and what you're gonna do. Not during your retire. No. And happy birthday, Ossie, already. We can say happy birthday for you because it's, Elaine just said that it's this month.
They keep coming around.
So Ossie never retires. He is so funny. You know, if we go to a restaurant or somewhere and you push your eyes are ever before you, telling you that person's got a knee problem, that person's got a shoulder problem, that person's got a pelvic problem. And so he'll often say to me, what have you done to your knee, your hip, your shoulder, whatever? And they'll say, oh, he said, do you mind if I just touch you? And so they said, what, here? Yeah, yes, right here. And so in a restaurant, he'll be doing people's knees, he'll be doing people's shoulders, and people are looking. But that's our way of still using the technique because we are not practitioners anymore. After practitioners, we become teachers. But we still love to be involved. We love to see the rewards and the response from people. So we see it on a daily basis pretty much. And I know that you will over there as well. So that's great.
One final thing, if I have time, we do produce a quarterly magazine, Bowena Hands, which you've seen. And of course, we had Elena on the front cover many years ago. And but we would like articles and photos from your people. So anybody just send in the photos, articles, stories, testimonials to Bowen Hands because we love printing them.
Well, it all just promotes the therapies throughout your country and the world. So that's really, really important way of getting the word spread. So thank you.
Super. It's a really great idea. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. And
any further questions? If not,
I would love to have 100 more questions, but it's afternoon for you. I think we need a book about Bowen therapy. Maybe just, this is just maybe my advice for you. Maybe if you love to write and maybe you're going to have this time just to write a book about Bowen therapy, because I think Word needs that kind of book.
And I believe you've written several books.
Yes, I did, but not about Bowen. Not yet.
You might be the person we need to write a book for me about Bowen.
When he gets old.
When I get old.
And that's going to be the best idea to come to Australia, because that was my dream. And I've never been in Australia. You were in Poland. I never been in Australia. So maybe we can...
you come. We'd love to look after you. You come and see us and we'll look after you and show you around.
Okay. So thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for this chance to speak with you. We've appreciated it. Thank you.
We are really
Thank you.
appreciated for everything, for this meeting, for everything that you said. Thank you. Amazing afternoon, and God bless your family and you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.